Hey Dosers, thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Tracy, one of the campus pastors here at North Coast, and we are in the first week of Advent, and we're talking about the theme of hope. And when I think about Christmas carols and lyrics, I immediately think of the lyric that says, "A thrill of hope. The weary world rejoices." And that immediately takes me to this season in my life when I was in this season of hoping and anticipation and waiting. And man, was I weary. And it was this time in our lives where Kevin was deploying frequently. And then the war kicked off. And then we had more deployments. And I would get into this rhythm once he would leave, like the door would close. I'd be like, okay, here we go. And I would prepare our home in a particular way. A couple of things that I would do is we would make little paper chains of how many days we thought Dad would be gone, and every day we'd take one off, and we'd have a bowl of M&Ms by the door of the number of days that we thought Dad would be gone, and every day as we'd leave for school, we'd take one out. And as time would get closer, I'd prepare the home. Actually, I'd build benches and paint walls and make everything tidy in preparation of his return. And I would prepare myself in my heart also. I would work on what I was eating and taking care of myself and exercising. And when he was gone to the war, I prepared and ran a marathon just to keep myself focused on moving forward towards the return date. And I think about that season and that preparation, and it kept me focused. It made me intentional. It kept my mind off of the surroundings and the situation and being so weary. It gave me energy and strength that I needed. And man, I sit back and I think, okay, Advent is this anticipation of the Messiah. So the prophecies were fulfilled by Jesus coming. And so we're celebrating Christmas. So we're counting down. But we also are in this anticipation, this waiting period of Christ's return. And so that continues on after December 25th. And so I just want to encourage us to have that mindset of preparation as we wait for his return. And Peter tells us how to do that as well. He says in 1 Peter 1, verse 13, he says, therefore, and he had just got finished telling us about our heavenly inheritance when we're going to meet Christ. And he says, therefore, prepare your mind, be sober-minded, and rest your hope fully upon the grace that is to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. And so he says, because we know of this, because we are sure. Now, my hope in Kevin's return was like, oh, I really hope this is going to work out and he's going to come home safe. But here's what we know because of this and the prophecies that have been fulfilled and the blessed assurance we have of the truth of this hope is we can rest on the grace and fully upon that grace of knowing that we will see Jesus again. He will return, or if he doesn't in the time that my life is done here on this earth, that I will see him. So I think my question today is, am I and are you preparing for this return? So this is a beautiful time when we start the Advent season to really set maybe some new rhythms, preparing our homes, preparing our hearts, preparing ourselves for that very return. Because when we filter everything through this hope that we have of this season of waiting and being quite weary, to be honest, this filter changes everything. This filter of hope and assurance that we have that we will see Jesus again. So I encourage us all to sit in that this week and actually start some new intentional rhythms and preparation for his return. It changes everything.